Hey, I'm lozeak and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I am super shocked that this is like you're new at the music. This is your sophomore single that you recently released, "Hate Me Too," and I like instantly. I'm like, I love your sound, I love your voice, and I just love your energy when you're singing it. So going from doing a lot of like covers on YouTube or online to now kind of discovering your sound. Like, what was that development process, and how did you know this is what your sound is and who you are as an artist?
I did so many sessions and just like went around literally everybody in London, and I kind of it wasn't like something wasn't there. Like I did loads of sessions where I did pop music and like nothing was really working for me in like terms of my sound. And I had one particular session with a guy called Risk, who I really love. And he kind of just was like, "What's your influences? Like, what did you grow up listening to?" And I just explained, and he was like, "Cool." And then put my voice on guitars, and I think it was the first time I ever heard my voice on guitars. And then I was like, "What?" I was like, "What have I been doing this whole time? Like, this is so sick." And I kind of like never looked back. Then I guess I just started doing that whole type of music. I mean, I grew up on a lot of that stuff, and yeah, it just all clicked and made sense. And ever since then, I never really stopped doing that genre.
Now, moving from that to releasing your first single, I feel like one of the scariest moments is like, obviously it's scary trying to discover who you are as an artist, but it's also scarier trying to figure out which song or what song to release first. So how did you go about as far as like picking and choosing what you wanted to be your debut single?
So I had way too many songs, so it was such a hard decision. But Nick, who works at the label, he was just like, "Why don't we put Word Vomit first?" And I was like, because it was kind of like a joking song. Me and some guys called the Nocturns, we made it together, and I think we actually sent it to everyone on a link of two, and we were like, "This is the kind of jokey one that we didn't really think much about." And then so when someone from the label suggested that, I was a bit like, I don't know. But I mean, I think like in my head, it was like kind of a risk, like going so out there so quick. But I think it made sense for me and kind of showed everybody like what's to come, which is cool.
And most recently, your sophomore single is "Hate Me Too," and you obviously have your reason for why you wrote this song. But when I listen to the song as a music fan, I feel like it's so diverse. It could be about a relationship, it could be about friendships, it could be about your demons of like either mental health or just like daily struggles that we go through. But for you initially, like, what really kickstarted the writing process for "Hate Me Too"?
So Hate Me Too is about my friends, about friendships, like in life. It's kind of super sarcastic, like the whole song. I didn't really um intend for it to be taken that seriously. But I kind of at the time that I wrote it, I was struggling with making friends and kind of keeping friends from home when I started coming to London doing music. So I kind of just put all my life issues into a song, and I guess yeah, that's what came out. But yeah, it's very sarcastic. Like it's kind of like I would hate me too if I was my friend, even though it sounds kind of stupid, but like, even though I wouldn't like, because I feel like especially doing music, you have to be pretty selfish sometimes. And I think as a young person, like growing up making friends and blah, 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 it's really hard for people to understand that, which is completely fine. And it's kind of like, yeah, I would hate me too if I was my friend.
And you said that you worked with the Nocturns on this one as well, just like you did with Word Vomit. So that collaboration process, like between all of you, like, what is that vibe like? What is that experience like?
So good. I really love them. I like how they're a duo because I like to separate like the production and the writing because one of them does production, one of them writes. Um, yeah, it's always a good vibe. Like we always just go in and smash out songs really quickly, which I think works really well for me. Um, yeah, it's just always good vibes with them.
Would you say that the covers that you did in the past help you kind of be a better songwriter, just because you see what kind of wording is being used on hit singles, or like you see what wording isn't used. Like, do you feel like that helped you in any way with this music?
Um, I think definitely, yeah. I think just growing up doing loads of covers, constantly listening to music and trying to, I guess, replicate what I heard in songs while covering them too, I think helped me like sing and yeah, helped me with lyrics definitely.
Now, as far as like you getting out of like stepping out of your comfort zone during the recording process of this, like how would you say the Nocturnes helped you kind of be more creative, kind of try new things, especially vocally? I feel like you give us like this range of vocals during both of these songs that you've released so far. So, how do you feel like they help challenge you, and what do you feel was the biggest challenge for you?
Um, I think Charlie, who like does vocals with me, he's like, "Can you do it in this key?" And he doesn't even give me an answer. He's like, "Just do it, just do it." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I think also when we're writing it, we don't ever really think about the key. We're just like kind of have the mindset of like, she can do it, she can do it. And then I feel like you kind of gain the confidence. You think, okay, like they think I can do it, I can. I think that's a big thing. I also just think they're super chill and like I remember when I was like younger and first went into studios, I was really worried about messing up and I'm worried about my actual performance in the studio. And it shouldn't be like that because you're just trying to get the best vocal you can. So I think them also being super nice and everyone I work with is just super chill, which is great.
Would you say that like the lyrics kind of inspired the sounds that we hear on this new single, or would you say that the melody inspired the lyrics to this new single?
Definitely the melody inspired the lyrics. We came up with the melodies first and we kind of referenced things like Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. And I think it would just, yeah, it would just come together.
At the same time, it gives me this like nostalgic vibe of like shiny toy guns, like early shiny toy guns, um, and like I don't know, like I love that there's so many like like you could tell there's so many different genres that inspire you to create the music that you're creating. But I feel like it's hard to have so many favorites and kind of nail it into creating your own sound. So, what kind of trials did you feel like you faced, like in order to finally figure out this sound that we're listening to now?
Um, I think growing up, I was influenced by loads of like Sabian, Madonna, like a mix of just everything. And I always kind of just listened to everything and never really just listened to one thing. Um, but I feel like I never thought about it that much. Even making this sound now, I didn't overthink it. I didn't think, oh, it needs to be pop, needs to be alternative, needs to be a mix. I think just everything you're influenced by eventually will come out in all of your songs. So I think it sounds stupid, but I think not thinking about it actually helped so much more because it was just authentic to me and natural.
Now, would you say like the writing process for Word Vomit to now Hate Me Too was different, or do you feel like it just felt like a natural evolution, like it was the next step?
Um, I think it was quite different just because with Word Vomit, we kind of had the idea of word vomit and wrote around that phrase because we don't actually say word vomit in the song. But with Hate Me Too, I kind of came in with an idea and I was like, I want to write a song about I would hate me too if I was my friend. And it stemmed from that. So I think I definitely thought about Hate Me Too much more and I kind of thought about how it would go on from word vomit.
Do you feel like you're still trying to like hone in your sound, or do you feel like you've already nailed it? Like this is what we can expect moving forward.
Um, I think that because I literally feel like I have an identity crisis every single day. I think every single song is just so different, and it was really hard to find that sound. But I think "Word Vomit" and "Hate Me Too" are very similar, but the next single is quite different and inspired by different things. But yeah, this is the general vibe.
Now, out of these two songs that we've heard so far, what do you feel was like the biggest challenge that you faced in order to finalize them?
Um, I think writing "Hate Me Too," I found it really difficult trying to say exactly what I wanted to say without it coming across as me being like the worst person ever. Um, and sometimes I feel like I write songs and I'm like, oh, if I release that, everyone's actually gonna think I'm so mean. So it's sometimes hard to like. There's a line, and then I don't want to cross it sometimes. But then also I'm like, you can say shocking things, I guess, but I don't know. I find that difficult sometimes.
I guess it's scary to be sarcastic with your music, right? Not everybody will understand it. Uh,
Yeah.
would you say that it's scarier to be vulnerable or scarier to be sarcastic?
Um, I think both, but I also think when I'm writing songs, I actually am not thinking about it at all. I'm like just making the art out of my emotions. But then I do think, oh, it's actually going to go into the world. Um, and then that's when I worry about it. But yeah, I think they're both scary.
Now, moving forward, aside from new material, what can fans look forward to as far as like promotions go with Hate Me Too? Like, can we expect maybe some live shows? Like anything going on with you?
Yeah, we've got lots of live shows this year. I'm doing a few in London and I'm doing Neck of the Woods in Norwich and Sound City in Liverpool, which is really fun. I'm so excited to do festivals. And yeah, a few other exciting things. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations with Hate Me Too and also Word Vomit. I'm super excited that I was recently introduced to your music and looking forward to doing this again soon.
Yeah, thanks so much.